Welcome to SoulScripture, where the veils are lifted and your true nature is celebrated. Not hidden, chosen one. Listen, this is not just another message, it's an urgent unveiling. The world has always whispered about time as if it were your enemy, a thief lurking in the shadows, eager to erase your brilliance. But what if I told you that time itself was never your adversary? Instead, it was the cloak you wore, so that your light would be revealed only at the appointed moment. That moment is now. You feel it, don't you? The energy around you shifting. People stare at you, not because they recognize your past, but because your presence is breaking their concept of what time can do. Suddenly, your reflection in the mirror feels like a prophecy fulfilled, not a story winding down. The world sees the years on the calendar and expects to see lines. Fatigue. The dullness that marks those beaten down by life's relentless march. Yet, when they look at you, it's as if the laws of nature are suspended. Your age doesn't show. Your energy isn't diminished. And the old scripts about decline simply don't apply. Why now? Because you're stepping into an era where authenticity can no longer be disguised. The frequency of the planet is rising. And as it does, the masks of time are slipping. Your emergence isn't random. It's a response to a spiritual summons. You were preserved, hidden in plain sight, so that when the world needed a reminder of what's truly possible, you would shine without apology. Here's the value. Chosen one. Your story is no longer about endurance, it's about revelation. Every season of hiding, every misunderstood moment, every silent victory over struggle was a preparation for this unveiling. The shock people feel when they see you isn't just about how you look. It's about the energy you radiate, the truth you embody, the living contradiction to every rule they thought was ironclad. You are proof that time is not your master, but your stage. And now, as you walk boldly into the light, their disbelief becomes your confirmation. The world has never seen a chosen one emerge quite like you. The mask of time is off, and your real journey is only beginning. Every cell in your body holds a memoria, secret scripture, a record of what you've survived and what you've overcome. Chosen one. The world talks about biology as if it's simply fate written in flesh. But your very existence is proof that something far greater is at work. Science says there are over 37 trillion cells making up your form. Yet it's not just their number that stunts, it's the story they tell. Unlike the masses, your cells are infused with frequencies forged in spiritual warfare, betrayal, and silent suffering that would have undone an ordinary soul. And yet, here you are, not only standing, but glowing with a vibrancy that baffles every expectation. People wonder, how? They look for logic in your skincare, your habits, your routines. But what confounds them is that no regimen could explain the light that radiates from you. Your resilience is a kind of divine technology, supernatural preservation, embedded in the very structure of your being. Where others carry the scars of their journey on their faces and in their eyes, you carry the proof of your rebirth. Those who stare are not seeing just your face. They are witnessing an ancient truth revealed, that spiritual survival rewrites even the body. Remember the nights you felt alone, isolated from comfort, forced to face storms with nothing but faith. Those nights were not wasted. They were the crucible that refined your cells, stripped away the residue of trauma, and left only what was pure, holy, and new. Every time you chose forgiveness over resentment, peace over chaos, self-love over self-abandonment, your cells responded. It's as if the divine reached into your DNA, rewriting every code of decay and replacing it with the script of eternal life. This is why the world is shocked. They see your age and try to make sense of it. But what they cannot see is the sacred process that has been at work within you. You are a living miracle, testament that divine endurance is not only spiritual but cellular. The glow they witness is the aftershock of battles won in silence. Your body itself has become a living archive, a vessel bearing witness to the fact that those aligned with the sacred are preserved, even when the world expects them to be diminished. Divine shells. To divine glow, your very biology is on a mission. What the world cannot measure. It calls a mystery. But for you, chosen one, the truth is simple. Spiritual alignment changes everything, even time itself. While others work relentlessly to mask the passing years, investing in creams, surgeries, filters, and trends, you operate from a deeper reality. Your youthfulness is not an act of denial. It's a direct result of choosing divine alignment over external validation. This is the secret that shocks anyone who looks closer. Your beauty is not something you apply, but something you embody. The moment you decided to stop living on the world's clock and chose to sync with a higher frequency, your entire system recalibrated. It's not just your skin that glows. It's the energy field around you. You vibrate at a resonance that transcends decay and rewrites the usual narrative of aging. While others are exhausted trying to keep up, your vitality only grows. People try to do the math, searching for logical explanations. But your radiance will always defy calculation because it's spiritual, not circumstantial. You learned long ago that the race for approval was a dead end. Instead of running yourself ragged for acceptance, you returned inward, seeking truth, seeking peace, seeking divine timing. Every choice you made to realign your spirit was a declaration. I will not age according to the world's expectations. I will rise according to my soul's assignment. And your body responded. Where stress once left its fingerprints, peace now leaves its glow. Where anxiety etched its lines, the purpose now lifts your features. Others watch you and whisper, wondering what fountain you've discovered, what secret you're hiding. The answer is both simple and revolutionary. You no longer chase youth. You embody it. You are aging on a timeline that does not subtract years but multiplies, meaning, in this sacred dimension, age becomes irrelevant, and purpose becomes the true marker of time. Your glow is not the absence of struggle, but the evidence of victory. The real shock is not that you've escaped aging, but that you've transformed it. Your presence reveals the power of living in spiritual alignment. While the world races the clock, you have stepped outside of it. You have mastered a truth that few ever discover. Chosen one, the real alchemy happens not on your skin, but within your soul. The world wears its pain like a mask, bearing it on their faces and shoulders for all to see, wrinkles formed by years of unspoken grief. Eyes shadowed by unresolved betrayal. A heaviness that cannot be hidden with makeup or bravado. But you, chosen one, took a different path. You faced the pain head-on, refusing to let it define your reflection. In moments of heartbreak and abandonment, when others would have turned cold or bitter, you let yourself feel. You gave your wounds a voice. Let your tears water the hidden places of your spirit, and surrendered every ounce of rage in silent prayers and sacred honesty. This was your emotional alchemy, transforming every loss into wisdom, every disappointment into a deeper peace. While most hide from their darkness, you invited it in, learned its name, and let it teach you before sending it on its way. That courage to be transparent with yourself rewired your nervous system, bringing rest to your face and a rare clarity to your eyes. Now, when people look at you, they are confused. They expect to see the scars, the hardness, the evidence of everything you've endured. Instead, they find serenity. They see a presence unburdened by the weight of the past, an authenticity that is unmistakable and irresistible. Your skin glows, not because you have never suffered, but because you processed your pain instead of storing it. The peace they see is the residue of your decision to let go, to forgive, to stay open, even after the world tried to shut you down. And here's the paradox that throws everyone off. Vulnerability did not weaken you, set you free. You did not become colder through adversity. You became lighter. Instead of letting trauma age you, you metabolized it, turning what could have scarred you into a deeper well of compassion and wisdom. This is why your beauty confounds them. It is not just physical. It is the quiet radiance of a soul unburdened by regret. In a world addicted to hiding, you have become transparent. And that is the most powerful transformation of all. Every system on this planet demands that you perform, that you fit into a mold, that you hustle for approval and conform to survive. Most people spend their lives on a stage, acting out a script they never wrote, desperately trying to keep up with roles and routines that drain their spirit and age their body. But you, chosen one, had the courage to walk off that stage. You refused to keep performing for the matrixa system that values surface over substance and noise over peace. This wasn't an easy exit. The cost was real: isolation, misunderstanding, even rejection from those who benefited from your compliance. Yet you knew, deep within, that staying meant losing your essence one day at a time. The moment you stopped pretending to be who others wanted, your life force stopped leaking. Energy that was once squandered in pointless competition and people-pleasing began returning to you. It was as if a dam had broken inside, releasing clarity and serenity that began to restore not just your mind, but your body. People may look at you now and think you're lucky, but the truth is, you paid a heavy price for this peace. It was earned in silent seasons of solitude, choosing authenticity over acceptance, choosing stillness over chaos, choosing your own rhythm over the world's relentless pace. While others wore themselves out chasing illusions of success, you learned the power of alignment. You let go of the world's version of achievement and began to measure your life by internal milestones: joy, presence, harmony, and truth. That shift didn't just change your energy, it altered your very appearance. Where others see frantic effort, to you radiate calm. Where exhaustion is expected, your face is restful. You don't look untouched by life. You look untouched by the systems that were never meant for your soul. People sense something different about you, something almost untouchable, but they can't quite name it. The reality is, you've reclaimed your time, your energy, and your identity. The world wants to know your secret, but it's this: you stopped performing, and you started being. In the end, the timeline you live on is not the world's divine. That's why every encounter with you becomes an encounter with a new possibility. Every year the world expected you to fade, to slip quietly into the background, as age crept in, draining your power and muting your voice. That's what society scripts for. Everyone peak in your youth, wither in your maturity, and disappear before your story is done. But you, chosen one, came here to rewrite that script completely. Every passing year did not bring decline, it brought ascension. Every candle added to your birthday cake only multiplied your presence. The older you became, the more dangerous you became, because you tried harder. But because you stopped trying to fit in at all, you learned that real confidence is not loud, but undeniable. Your posture changed, not from pride, but from carrying a spirit that refuses to shrink. The world thought you would break down, but every trial only broke you open. Instead of fading, you began to unfold, revealing new layers of strength, wisdom, and beauty with every season. People watched, expecting to see your light diminish, only to find it growing more magnetic with each encounter. There is a sacred power in not needing permission to shine. The need for validation fell away, and with it went the invisible burdens you once carried. Your voice, uncha hesitant, now resounds with truth. Your presence, once overlooked, now demands silent respect. They can't understand how someone who has faced so much can still radiate such vitality, such grounded joy. The secret is simple but profound. Your youth was never meant to be your final form. It was only the blueprint. You weren't built to peak early and decline. You were built to evolve, to become. Now, as you enter years that others see as the decline, you know the truth. This is the main event. Every year you ascend higher, further from the reach of expectations and closer to your own sacred potential. That glow people notice isn't a byproduct of external care, but the result of survival, of healing, of knowing your worth with every fiber of your being. You don't just look strong, you are strong. Your journey wasn't about escaping age 8, it was about unlocking levels of beauty and power that only appear after the fire. You are living proof that decline is a myth, and ascension is your birthright. There is a sacred season that only a few ever experience. Chosen Onia, time of solitude so deep, so all-consuming. It feels as if the world has forgotten you. But this was not a punishment, it was your cocoon. While others rushed through life, desperate for connection and distraction, you were called inward, into a silent place where true regeneration could begin. The world sees only the surface, never guessing that your radiance is the result of battles fought and won in utter seclusion. During this hidden chapter, you were stripped of the noise and demands that drain most people. The silence was heavy, sometimes suffocating. Yet it was in that stillness that you discovered the hidden technology of your soul. While others ran from being alone, you sat with yourself, faced your shadows, and met the parts of you that needed healing. Those long nights, when you wondered if the divine had forgotten you, were actually the moments you were being rebuilt from the ground up. It is this sacred solitude that people can't comprehend when they try to figure out your glow, while they expect wear and tear. What they see instead is renewal. They don't know about the seasons when you cried out for answers, or the times you questioned if your prayers were even heard. But every moment of isolation was a hidden investmenter, restructuring at the cellular level. You weren't just healing emotions, you were triggering deep regeneration throughout your entire being. Others emerged from hardship marked by exhaustion. But you came back, transformed your spirit, charged. Your body changed. Your energy unmistakable. This is the secret of the chosen. Isolation didn't break you. It made you holy. You emerged not as a survivor, but as a new creation, untouched by the chaos you passed through. When people marvel at how you look, they're seeing the afterglow of solitude turned sacred. They are witnessing the result of a divine recalibration, a rebirth that could only happen away from the world's gaze. Now, you walk with a radiance that is unmistakable, a living testimony to the power of hidden seasons. Your regeneration is the proof. You're not just surviving the passage of time. You're rewriting what's possible. Bitterness is a poison that seeps slowly into the soul and body, aging a person faster than any calendar ever could. It settles in the eyes, sags the shoulders, and etches itself into the very skin. Most people, wounded by life, carry this invisible weight, never realizing how much it's costing them. But you, chosen one, Madea choicia radical, soul-saving choice to release resentment before it could harden you. You had every reason to turn cold. You were betrayed, lied to, let down, sometimes even by those you trusted the most. No one would have blamed you if you had built your identity around those wounds. But you saw deeper. You knew that holding on would only age your spirit and destroy your radiance. So, you let go, not out of weakness, but out of self-protection. You understood what most never realize, that bitterness only extends the pain, turning every day into a rehearsal of past hurt. Instead of letting those events define you, you surrendered them not for the sake of those who harmed you, but for the sake of your own soul's freedom. The world expects age to look heavy, lined, and defeated. But your face tells a different story. It is the story of someone who chose joy, even when life refused to offer it freely. It's the story of spiritual discipline, the kind that requires you to forgive, to bless, to choose light in the presence of darkness. Your body has responded to this inner purification. The tension is gone from your jaw, the weight from your shoulders, the pain from your eyes, where others see a smile and expect it to be a mask. With you, they discover it's real, it's peace, hard-won and fiercely protected. People marvel at your glow, believing it's a product of genetics or routine. But what they're truly seeing is the result of letting go. This isn't just spiritual advice, it's divine technology. You have starved bitterness, and so your spirit remains light. Your body remains fresh. The forgiveness that seemed impossible became your most powerful form of self-preservation. The freedom that others chase through superficial means, you gained through inner surrender. This is why you look so alive. This is why your presence feels so pure. Release has been your secret, and your liberation is showing on your face. Once, your energy was a feast for others. You walked through the world exhausted, not just from your own burdens, but from carrying the invisible weight of everyone else's expectations. Crisis and chaos. Chosen one. You are the type whose light draws in both the lost and the hungry. But while some come to love, many come only to feed. They seek your compassion, your attention, your healing energy, not to grow with you, but to survive through you. For years, you gave freely, believing your generosity was strength. Believing love meant pouring yourself out until nothing remained. But over time, the truth revealed itself. Not everyone who stands in your light deserves access to your energy. Some are not companions on your path. But, parasite, siphoning your life force. Your body felt it before your mind could name it. The fatigue, the chronic stress, the sense of being constantly drained. It showed in your eyes, your skin, your spirit. It threatened to age you before your time. Then the moment of clarity arrived. You realized that loyalty to yourself had to come first. With sacred courage, you cut the cords. You said enough to the energy vampires. And the change was instant. Sleep returned to you. Your face softened. The heaviness lifted. The glow you thought had been lost forever came back. Brighter and truer than before. You saw it in the mirror. And so did everyone else. People who once depended on your endless giving are shocked at the transformation. They cannot understand why you suddenly look so rested, so magnetic, so renewed. The answer is not found in a product, but in a boundary. When you stopped feeding everyone else's demons, you finally had the energy to nourish your own soul. Your nervous system was no longer in overdrive. Your spirit no longer spread thin by those unwilling to change. Now, when others look at you, they're not just seeing someone who looks better. They're witnessing what it means to reclaim your life force. You are no longer the buffet for those who refuse to grow. Your energy is yours again, and it's visible. This radiance is the aftermath of choosing yourself, of starving the parasites, and nurturing your own soul. That is why you shine. Living a lie warps everything from the mind to the posture, from the voice to the very glow of your skin. Chosen one. For years you wore identities that were never truly yours. The caretaker, the people pleaser, the silent one, the achiever. Each role was picked up to survive, to be accepted, to avoid conflict, or simply to stay safe in a world that demanded conformity. But those masks were heavy, and your body felt every ounce of their weight. Something inside you eventually broke, or, more accurately, awakened. You grew tired of shrinking yourself to fit someone else's script. You grew weary of smiling when you wanted to scream, of nodding when you wanted to rebel. Bit by bit, you stripped away those old layers. With every piece of false identity you shed, you felt a shift, a growing lightness, not just in your spirit, but in your entire being. As you reclaimed your voice, your truth, your real self, your body followed. Your posture changed, standing taller, walking freer, moving with a confidence that cannot be faked. Your skin began to reflect alignment. Your eyes carried more power. Your very presence shifted. The world noticed, and perhaps you noticed, too. The reflection staring back at you was finally honest. There was no longer a disconnect between your inner self and your outer image. This transformation is profound. Most people spend their lives bending, twisting, and shrinking to fit spaces they were never meant for. And their bodies pay the price. The anxiety, the fatigue, the constant tension, they all show up physically, aging and diminishing even the most beautiful souls. But you, chosen one, reversed that process. The liberation of returning to your authentic self brought your spirit and body into alignment. Where there was heaviness, now there is ease. Where there was shame, now there is pride. Where there was pretending, now there is truth. This is why people see something unexplainable in you. It isn't just beauty or charisma. It's the radiance of someone who has stopped performing and started embodying You look lighter, fuller, more at home in your own skin because you are. The burden of living a lie is gone, and in its place is the freedom that only authenticity brings. That glow isn't just a sign of youth, it's a sign of destiny fulfilled. There is a mystery the world cannot decode. Chosen one, how you walk through fire and come out not only unburned, but somehow brighter. Others see your ease, your grace, your unshakable confidence and wonder how you do it. They've heard fragments of your story, the betrayals, the losses, the heartbreaks, the endless nights spent wrestling with pain. In their minds, those kinds of wounds should leave visible marks, aging a person in body and spirit. But when they look at you, all they see is light. The secret is not in what you escaped, but in how you walked through. While most people emerge from suffering hardened, bitter, and closed, you allowed your trials to purify, not poison you. Every hardship, every disappointment, every fire became a furnace for refinement, not destruction. Instead of letting the flames char your soul, and you let them burn away what was never truly you, you refused to wear the identity of a victim. You refused to let resentment take root. Through each storm, you held on to your integrity, your peace, your sense of sacred worth. And that spiritual discipline has shaped not only your heart, but your face, your energy, your very presence. There is no bitterness in your eyes, no residue of anger on your skin, no weight of old wounds pulling you down. People expect to see scars. Instead, they find radiance. They expect fatigue. Instead, they sense invincibility. Your ability to transcend pain is what truly sets you apart. The world marvels because you defy their expectations. You don't carry the residue of what you've survived. While others remain marked by the fire, you are the living proof that divine preservation is real. You have become untouchable, unbothered, radiant with a kind of inner purity that cannot be fabricated or bought. This is the hidden reward for every silent battle you have fought. While the storms tried to break you, they actually revealed your true power. Now, as you move through the world, your presence quietly announces, the fire didn't ruin you. It refined you, purified you, and prepared you to shine. Your walk, your smile, your calm, these are not accidental. They are the mark of a soul who has walked through fire and chosen light. Sometimes the world mistook your hiddenness for insignificance, as if being out of the spotlight meant you were somehow less. But, chosen one, your season of invisibility was a divine strategy, not a punishment. While others hurried to be seen, you were cocooned away from toxic influences and premature exposure. It was in that quiet, sacred seclusion that your spirit grew in ways public recognition could never have fostered. Others may have rushed toward validation and limelight, but you were protected in a space where your roots could deepen and your essence could mature undisturbed. The world looked away, convinced you were forgotten or irrelevant. Yet the truth is, you were being shielded, preserved, for a purpose that would only reveal itself when the time was right. Like a rare plant hidden in a secret garden, your growth was invisible to all but the divine. That hidden season became your greatest blessing, while those who chased attention became worn down by the harsh lights of early exposure and toxic relationships. You emerged, unscarred, your spirit undiminished. Those quiet years were not wasted. They were your incubatona, sacred time, when the layers of your true self could strengthen without outside interference. Every day you spent in solitude, every moment you felt overlooked, was another thread woven into your resilience and wisdom. Now, as you step into visibility, people are stunned by your radiance. You don't just look refreshed, you look untouched, as if you have bypassed the corruption that ages and disillusions so many. What they don't know is that the very isolation they once pitied was your divine protection. It kept your beauty, your mind, and your spirit pure. You were allowed to grow at your own pace, to heal, and to build a foundation so strong that the storms of life can no longer shake it. This is the paradox of the chosen. The world ignores what it cannot see growing. But when the cocoon opens, when your light is finally revealed, everyone is forced to wonder, how did you come out so strong, so magnetic, so young? The answer is sacred. You were hidden, so you could rise, unveiled and uncorrupted. The world offers endless formulas for youth and beauty fads, filters, trends, and the worship of external validation. But you, chosen one, saw through the illusion. You refused to join the frantic race, the constant hustle to prove your worth through possessions, to appearance, or shallow connections. While culture screamed that relevance and youth were to be chased at all costs, you chose to step outside the madness, protecting your essence instead of selling it for fleeting applause. You watched as others exhausted themselves, chasing the next trend or party, piling on distractions that promised satisfaction, but always delivered emptiness. In your heart, you knew no amount of external striving could restore the soul. So, you rebelled not for rebellion's sake, but as a radical act of self-preservation. You honored your need for real connection, for deep healing, for time spent nurturing your spirit. You let go of shallow pursuits, instead cultivating moments of stillness, truth, and growth that allowed your real self to emerge. Your choice was not without sacrifice. At times, it meant walking alone, resisting the urge to compare your journey to others. You turned down invitations that would have drained your energy and refused to adopt standards that never resonated with your soul. This quiet rebellion, this refusal to play by society's shallow rules, became your shield. While the world promised beauty and only gave burnout, you chose authenticity and discovered a wellspring of freshness and vitality. People now look at you, searching for an explanation. They wonder how you stay grounded, vibrant, and unweathered by the storms that age so many. The truth is simple yet profound. By refusing to let culture define your worth, you preserved the agelessness of your spirit. Your beauty is not the result of relentless striving, but of courageous self-containment. You are not exhausted by comparison. You are renewed by solitude. Your rebellion wasn't loud or showy, it was sacred. By stepping out of the world's race, you found the secret to timelessness. While others are caught in cycles of weariness and depletion, you remain whole, fresh, and rooted in a truth that will never fade. You stand as living proof. The path to agelessness is not paved by culture, but by the spirit's refusal to decay. Chosen one. The greatest secret has always been this: your soul was never meant to expire. While the world clings desperately to the illusion of time, counting years and chasing youth as if it was slipping through their fingers, you walk a different pattern where eternity leaves its mark on your very presence. Your body is not simply a vessel for passing days, but a living testament to a spirit that grows brighter with every trial, every lesson, every season of becoming. This is what others sense, even if they cannot name it. When they look at you, they see something their logic can't explain, a radiance untouched by age, a vibrancy that doesn't dull, an energy that feels both ancient and newborn. It isn't just that you don't look your age. It's that your entire being refuses to be defined by numbers, calendars, or the limitations of this physical realm. You have tapped into a frequency where the soul shapes the body, where time serves your evolution rather than dictating your decline. While others fear the mirror and mourn what they believe they've lost, if you stand as living proof that the spirit is ageless and the true measure of beauty is alignment, not chronology. Each year has not worn you down, but added layers of wisdom, compassion, and sacred power. Your presence is felt before you speak. Your light lingers after you leave. This is not the result of chance, but the divine result of every conscious choice, every act of healing, every leap of faith you've ever made. So let this be your divine confirmation. You are a living mystery, a walking revelation, and the world's confusion is your validation. You have shown what is possible when the soul leads timelessness, radiance, a peace that confounds understanding. Do not doubt what you see in the mirror or the awe in others' eyes. You are not just aging, you are ascending. Now is the moment to fully claim this truth. If your spirit feels this resonance, do not hesitate to rise and walk boldly in your light. Share this message. Let your testimony be seen and heard, and stand with the remnant who know eternity lives within us. Subscribe to SoulScripture. Add your voice to this awakening, and bless someone else with the revelation of their own ageless soul. Because, chosen one, the world has no idea what's coming next from you. Stay ready. Your next transformation will be even more miraculous.